Right, Rock Ferry here with Hollowstar just before the start of their show in Chester with Dan Reed. So, how's the tour gone so far? Predictable question, I know.
Really well, actually. It's been good because people are out right from doors. So
yeah,
it's the numbers are good. People are singing, they're dancing around, and all the people. To be honest, the people make it what it is as well. And everybody from Dan's team and down to Dan himself, the guys from Mason Hill. It's like one big family on the road. So.
Oh, perfect. So, had you had much interaction with Mason Hill before this tour?
None whatsoever. We used to listen to their stuff, like we still do. Now You See Me is obviously one of them tracks that everybody knows that's doing this, and they've got so many good tunes. And obviously they're at the peak of sort of this sort of game of where we're sort of chasing as well. So you're keeping your eye on what people are doing, and when bands are that good, you can't help but notice them. But no, this is the first time we've got to sort of chat to them and meet them, really.
Oh, fabulous. So you said that obviously Mason Hill are kind of at the peak of the level that they operate at the moment. What other bands would you say that we need to look out for at the moment?
There's a few out there.
There's a few. You've got obviously the King lot, who obviously
great
are
guys
nice.
as well.
To be fair, they are still one, but it's one that do still get played by. There's people like Florence Black. There's people like Dead Man's Whiskey, Stone Broken, Those Damn Crows.
Yeah.
There's so many. I'm sure there's going to be people going to be messaging us after this. But yeah, no, there's absolutely loads. So yeah, no, just go out there and get searching, really.
Okay, so I'm going to talk pre-show rituals. First of all, obviously I've interrupted one because you wouldn't always do interviews before shows. What would you say that you all do to prepare for a show?
I just like 5-10 minutes quiet before I go on stage, to be honest. Just get in the zone, whether it be sit in the van or sit in a room on my own, just get my head there. That's always been something I've done, to be fair.
That'll be the last half an hour before stage. You tend to get 10 minutes before stage. We'll meet backstage.
Yeah.
The sort of 20 minutes to half an hour before that, me and Phil will just vanish and go into where there's nobody around. You can't be bothered.
Yeah.
You can't, because at that point it's just trying to gather your thoughts, making sure you know all your cues, where you are.
Yeah.
Obviously, as soon as you hit stage, everything goes out the window and it's just party time.
See, I think I do the complete opposite. Yeah. I just keep doing stuff until we go on. I don't stop until we go on, because then there's I don't like to have a break between anything, really. So it's like we did the first part of the tour and then got back 4:00 Thursday morning. I went to work.
Oh.
I went to work and then had Thursday night off and then back at it again yesterday.
So speaking of day jobs, obviously, most bands at sort of your level and well above your level as well, tend to still have day jobs and things like that. What would be the future for you guys? Would it be a hope that you'd want to give up day jobs in the future?
It's got to be everybody's hope, that, isn't it? That's not. I really like spreadsheets. No, to be honest, it's one of those. It's the dream for us, because the dream for us was never to actually go out and I suppose it isn't, I want to play to 100,000 people, I want to do this. It's actually, I want to be able to create enough of an income where I can spend my time doing music.
Yeah.
Because for us, the passion is the music, and it's the wanting to spend time doing it. So the more we always say, if we can get 30 grand a year to do this, then I'll be happy as Larry, because I'm doing what I want. Yeah. If somebody wants to give you more, then you're not going to say no.
Well, no, not at all.
The dream is, I suppose,
is anyone out there?
But then I suppose it is the keeping the foot working part time that does give the income, because this costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford things, and there's been a lot of times when we've suddenly realised, okay, right, we need more money here and there, and luckily we've got good people around us that have helped us, and at other times we've gone around and just gigged and scraped and done everything we can, raided Phil's house savings and all kinds of things. So it's I think keeping an income is massively important. You can't just go head straight without having any plan.
So with regards to income, obviously every band's different as to where, obviously I don't need figures or anything like that, but where you draw most of your income, everyone's different. Some people it's merch, some people it's gigging. What would you say as a band your main source of income is from a band perspective?
I think for us, it's merch.
I think generally all the time.
Literally the keys for bands being able to do this is the people buying the CDs and the T-shirts and things like that. Literally, if people don't buy the merch, the shows literally would be impossible. Running a band would be impossible.
Yeah.
The gig fees, it's not 1976. People aren't getting paid £100,000 a show and getting flown here and the other. This is all it is, it's people just like everybody else, that this is a passion. It's a lot of people, it's a part-time passion, and every time you're buying a £15 t-shirt, you're possibly putting the fuel in to get to the next gig.
Quite literally with this stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's essential. That's been essential.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that there is no money in actual music anymore. So obviously you mentioned that merch, supplements a lot of what you do. If somebody said to you, "Oh, there's no money in music anymore," do you believe there is any money in the actual music itself, as in people buying the music?
I think there is, but in different ways.
Okay.
I think you've got to be cleverer with the way you get music. So you're always going to get paid if your music's on an advert. You're always going to get paid if you're getting used on a TV station. So there's other ways to make money from it.
Yeah.
But none of it's easy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And it also does cost you a lot of money to do it, because not just the recording costs, even if you want to start doing it, all the registration fees and things like that for certain things that you need to be set up with, just to be able to get your music to be able to be used on TV or anything like that, is crazy. And I know with ourselves, because the band is the passion, and like you say, it's not easy.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, this money gets straight put into the next album and stuff anyway. So it's not like it comes.
It's always a reinvestment, isn't it?
Yeah. No, definitely. So speaking of your music, one of the tracks, my favourite track, hands down, that you've done, is Still Feel the Burn.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely, my favourite. And I know, Joe, obviously, before you play that song live, you often do a bit of an introduction and explain what the song's about. So for people listening who haven't heard that song, even though I have played it on my show before, so I don't know why they wouldn't have heard it, but for those who haven't, just explain a little bit about that song, because I know it is a song that connects with quite a lot of people.
Yeah, it's trying to raise awareness for things they call invisible illnesses.
Yeah.
Things like anxiety and depression and things like that, because it's been something that has, though when you walk on stage, obviously you put your game face on and it's big and bold, but there's lots of times where it's been needing the right people, and I've suffered massively with it for years.
Yeah.
Luckily, like I say, I've got a band of brothers that I get to travel around with that keep your head straight and keep a smile on your face. But a lot of the time, when it comes to things like anxiety and depression, the first thing it takes away from people is that confidence and ability to turn around to somebody and say, "I'm struggling with this," or this, that and the other. But I figure, while I've got a microphone and 700 people in front of me, just by me saying that, they can look to the right person and nod.
Yeah.
They haven't said a word, they haven't had to find that courage, but they've said everything they need so that they can get the help later on.
Yeah.
So it's just using what we're doing to be able to actually do something a bit more than go jump around and sweat and have a giggle.
And I think a lot of people in the music industry, me myself included, do suffer with these sorts of things. Do you think that in the music industry in particular, do you think that those sort of invisible illnesses are more prevalent?
Well, the one thing that I've found, and because we took a lot of time out of this, me, Phil and Jack were in bands from when we were 13 up to the age of sort of 20.
Yeah.
At 20 years old, when me and Phil were 20, Jack was younger than that, we knocked it on the head.
All right, okay.
And we were off just doing other things. Me and Jack went travelling, Phil was focusing on a job and that kind of thing. And coming back into it, I've noticed that it's such extremes of highs and lows.
Yeah.
Especially at this level, because it's not like I said before, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you'd go off and you'd be doing your shows, and if you were getting mainstream radio play, you'd go back to your house, you'd all jump in a swimming pool, you'd have a giggle. You've got funds available to entertain yourself, I suppose.
Yeah.
But with this, it is you go and play to 700 people, and then you've got 3 hours sleep before you've got Steve, your line manager, screaming at you and throwing pencils at the back of your head for not working quick enough because you're half asleep because you're gigging.
Yeah.
So it's such an extreme that I think for anybody who is already dealing with something, it can really play manic with that kind of thing. But I suppose it's if it's what you want to do, you go for it. I always say if this isn't what you absolutely love, eat, sleep, breathe, it will crush you before you get there.
So, I mean, obviously I work more at the sort of support side of things, where I manage bands and things like that. What support network have you got outside of the band, with regards to management, labels, that kind of thing?
I think we've been quite lucky enough knowing people in the industry.
Always helps.
Always helps. But yeah, a lot of it we sort of quickly realised that, if we get a manager, you're paying this, you get this, you're paying that, and we call it stubborn, but we were stubborn enough to be like, no, it's us four.
Yeah.
Let's
I remember
learn
that
it.
conversation.
Let's learn it.
You're smart.
Let's
you
learn
know.
each aspect, but not. It was a massive learning curve because each time, each door you open, there's another 3 or 4 doors to then learn about and then to, sort of try and take on. But I think the more, and we still say today, the more we can keep within us for the better. We've got full control over everything. We don't want to go and sign ourselves to this because, like Joe said earlier, our ultimate goal was to record something that we could listen back to, and now it's an absolute bonus to have everyone like, oh, I love this track, and it's still weird, it's surreal, but that was it. So as long as we can keep as much as we can for now, between us four, we will.
Luckily, like any band, you get good choices and bad choices, and you make good decisions, bad decisions. Luckily, very recently, we've had somebody reach out to us. Who's helped us out with regards to PR a little bit recently at a time when we really needed it. So there are good people out there helping. But a lot of the time, it's we've got a WhatsApp chat and it'll be like, somebody figure out how this works, and whoever's got the spare 10 minutes figures it out. And then, but then even from that, every time we go spend money on somebody to bring some expertise on something that we don't know, we don't just pay them and then go off and do what we're doing. We're learning what they're doing. So the next time,
so you don't have to go and do it again.
And we know in what's working and what's not. So at the very least, if there's no money in music, we can set up some kind of company and be the ones that do get some money out of it.
The pirates.
So, I mean, it does sound, one of the things I certainly noticed that, you've got 2 choices as a band. You can learn business skills yourself, or you can go off and pay someone to do it all for you. And a lot of bands, certainly that I work with, they're not from backgrounds where they would have had the opportunity to learn about a lot of those things. So how important do you think education about the actual business itself is?
Phil screams about this all the time, because my whole thing when we started this, because we were older than most coming back into this, because we'd taken the 5-6 year break, coming back and starting again writing songs at 26 beginning when you're gigging like and there's somebody 19 and you're thinking that's a tune, and they've got 7 years on it. So a lot of that as well was, and Phil was always saying, but we wouldn't be able to do what we do if we hadn't had the 8 years sort of
life experience,
life education. Because me and Phil were sales managers. Thomas ran sort of manufacturing side of things, he's done production side of things, which Jack's always worked in social media and website building in the time.
You can tell.
So
your social media is very good.
Well, to be fair, and that is the key. It's about bringing what you've learned, not just going, I'm going to be in a band, write a song, and then hope for the best.
It's using what they want.
That's it.
And that is, I think, is the biggest thing, because if people want to see posts on Facebook, you put posts on Facebook. People want to see what the band are doing. People want to see what you're up to. People want to see not necessarily what you eat and drink, but they want to see, inside of the band, not just what you see on stage. They want to see the behind the scenes.
If they're waiting to see what Tom eats and drinks, they'll be waiting a while. I think he's had a muffin and a slice of toast in the past week.
The whole tour.
Really?
That's a slight exaggeration.
No, you say that.
I can't see Tom anymore, he's disappeared.
I had a bacon sandwich on Monday, I didn't eat till Thursday night.
Where's Tom? Anyone see him?
That's the thing.
On the road, with regards to, like, I've obviously been on the road with a few bands and things like that, and you do end up, certainly my experience, stopping off at a service station and all of that sort of thing. How much, be honest, how much do you prepare in advance?
Do you know what key? Do you know what is key? Do you know what is key? Hot noodles, super noodles, and a bowl.
Is that all you need?
Phil, I'm telling you, that's all you need. But Phil brings, he's got 1 bag for his clothes, he's got 3 kitchen bags, a pop-up kitchen, it works.
Not quite
he's
a pop-up kitchen. We're not camping,
I was sat there hungry last night at 3 a.m. He's like, do you want a cheese sandwich? He's pulling out knives, butter, bread, cheese. It's like,
I feel fair
band on the road.
And then there's me there, I've got a cup of soup, because they're good.
And complimentary hot chocolate.
Anything you can cook, anything you can make with a kettle.
Did you know that you can boil eggs in a kettle?
No, I didn't.
True story.
And wouldn't that be a poached egg?
No, a hard-boiled egg.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so I was, because I have a day job as well, and contracting away from home, living in hotel rooms, and I was trying to make an effort to eat healthily. It was not really working. You can make cheese toasties with an iron.
Yes, I've heard about that one.
So you can do that.
You need 2 irons.
No,
you get foil. Wrap it in foil. Use the iron. You can boil eggs in a kettle.
How many boils? 1.
2. It depends how you like your eggs, to be
There's
fair.
your insider.
Yeah, it depends how you like
I
your
quite
egg.
like a runny one though.
I don't like runny whites. Don't mind a runny yolk, but I don't like the white being. Yeah, so there's Lauren's top tip on the road.
James Martin's got a nothing on this.
I'll tell you what, one
Tune in
day.
here for your food tips.
I know, yeah, I'm going to release a book.
That is a good idea.
That's not a bad show.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of stuff you know, that you can do, and I pretty much enforce it on my bands as well. I'm
It's
like,
good.
oh, do
Well,
this,
the best
do
thing
that.
as well is because a lot of the time Airbnb has been our best find.
Oh, because you get a kitchen, it's a proper house, yeah.
And with that, you can go buy a pack of 8 tortillas and tomato puree, some cheese, and you can do that, and you can make well cheap pizzas.
Hey, see, there we go. Should we do a book together?
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
What do you do for vocal health? Because I know obviously it's quite, especially, you know, with a tour where you're doing, you know,
I
consecutive
make sure
nights.
I think about quitting smoking at least once a day.
I have to drop this one
They
in
just
there.
think about it.
just the thing. I have to drop this one in there as well. Obviously, Vocal Zone provide us with a
Nice.
To be fair,
Nice
in all honesty,
I'm a
that
vocal
that is
zone
actually the
girl
way.
as well.
Right.
No,
Great.
in all honesty, I am terrible at looking after my voice, and that is just pure honesty. And
Yeah.
when we actually ended up started working with Vocal Zone, they were kind enough to help us out by giving us the endorsement. That has been the greatest thing ever, because I am terrible for just eating, drinking, whatever you do, have a few beers here and there, but they literally are like a reset button.
Yeah.
And
they're great.
to be fair, I do what I want, and I have a Vocal Zone. That's my vocal health.
That's your vocal health. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't advise
don't try
that.
to
I wouldn't
support.
advise that. But yeah, that's my logic anyway.
That's not going in the
They've
book.
got better flavours as
we'll
well
keep that one
now.
out.
They have, haven't they?
They have. There's
yeah.
the black currant one, which
Yeah, the black currant one's
which
really
I'd eat
nice.
that anyway. So no, I'm well.
Yeah, no, don't have too many vocal zones,
No,
though.
no.
You can
One a day
overdose on them.
keeps the cold
Yeah,
away.
funny
Yeah.
coloured tongue.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, you
That'll
can
be
have,
the
you can
test
have
later.
too many.
Yeah.
So I always ask every band that I speak to in this sort of environment, I always ask a question because I do check back in. So I always say, where do you see yourself in 12 months' time? Because I do actually come back to you in 12 months' time and see if you've actually done it. Whatever it is.
I reckon we've got at least
Album
another,
deep.
I reckon we've got
Album
at least
deep.
another 2.5 months at this.
Yeah, we're working at Debbie.
Yeah, about
Okay,
that.
so you're back in your day jobs and there's no Hollowstar
I
anymore.
quite like the office job.
No, in a year's time, to be fair, it'd be nice to still be going and to be at a
still
point where,
exist.
if we're at a point in 12 months' time where this is making us some kind of supplementary income,
Yeah.
I'd be happy. I've got no, like I say, I've got no dreams of that in 12 months' time I'm going to be jumping, running around at Wembley Stadium. But
Yeah.
if I can get sensible, like they say, baby steps. So if you talk to me in 12
Keep
months'
this
time and
going.
I'm earning more from this than I have from painting and decorating, then I'm winning.
Okay, so I'm gonna get an answer from each of you. So Jack, what's your 12-month?
To still be a band would be nice.
I love it. How are you
We're not setting a
aiming?
good trend.
Has he got a 12-hour plan? That's the thing.
I don't know,
So
just
to
to be
still,
honest,
to still exist, okay.
yeah, as long as like just keep enjoying it, really.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, we're trying to get this album out. That's the next big goal.
So,
Yeah.
the album release?
Yeah,
do we think,
album
in 12 months?
release,
Yeah.
and then
Definitely
a good tour.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
that
time next year again.
Oh, and a tour
or maybe
as well.
a bit earlier. Who knows?
Tour-
Sometime next year.
Tour, would that be a headline tour, or would that
Well,
be
we're in a few
for-
conversations at the moment. We do know there's a few dates that we're going to be doing at the start of next year.
Yeah.
Going out with a few bands that people may know. They're going to be announced soon. And then we're in chats with a few other bands at the moment about options.
Yeah.
Like I say, we plan to go out on the road at least twice next year.
Okay.
If we can get the right opportunity, then 3 times, because we love doing it.
Well, you know, Manchester, you've got boxed off with me.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the one. That's the one.
That's the important one.
Yeah, that's it.
Phil, 12 months.
12
Go on.
months, yeah, album out, and yeah, I think it's a similar thing to everyone else.
Still Mars.
Get the
Yeah?
tours.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, tours. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'd love to have a co-headline tour with Mason Hill in place next year.
12 months time. So you
Is that because I suggested it today?
You do, yeah.
Potentially.
Do a few of the dates we've done and do it as a sort of a follow up.
Yeah,
the 2
you'd
of us.
smash
That'd
it.
be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
definitely.
good. That would be good.
You are 2 bands that complement each other really well.
Yeah.
So
They're great guys as well.
I think
Always
that's
We
definitely
feel,
a
we feel like
winner.
we've known them forever.
That's always a good sign.
We can't understand them, but we, yeah, I mean, we go, oh well.
Yeah.
We do get on well.
So Painting and making more money from painting and decorating, is that your 12-month goal?
No, making more money from money.
No, from this.
Music, yeah.
From this, than painting and decorating, I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't explain myself very well there, did I?
Yeah, no, like I say, as long as I'm further forward than I am now.
Yeah.
And a healthy step as well, so it's not going too slow.
Yeah.
But no, it's about...
Not like you're making £2 at the end of the month.
I'd like it to be making that transition now so that this is more the majority than the other.
Yeah.
And that's my plan in 12 months. And then within 2 years' time, if the other then is not completely on the head.
Yeah.
So you're making sort of a steady plan, really.
Okay. And finally, last but not least, go on, Sam. What's your are you going
Well, the album is something that definitely sticks in your mind because we've been working so hard at it recently.
Yeah.
There's a few bits to finish off, and there's a few ideas still popping up here and there. I mean, most of it, a lot of it is done, but it's there's a few other little tweaks here and there. There's just not enough money so I can pay my mortgage, really.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm still working as often as I can, which I say it's working. It's not really work. It's just somewhere I get a salary from.
Yeah.
Because I do love it. But other than that, yes.
I know everyone always has to be careful what they say about
Tom
their day
actually
jobs.
does.
But I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah.
Guitar technician for PRS.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
even when he puts his guitar down, he picks a guitar up.
So you're still doing music for your day job as well, which is a rare thing to have.
If it did get to the point, God forbid, that it got to the point where it all packed in, then I'd still be doing...
You'd still be doing music.
Something to do with it.
So you're sorted, really, aren't you? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so I'm not complaining in either way, but I'd rather stick to playing guitar
I'll
than this lot.
I'll be at the back of Poundland going for a week.
Hey, you did that skip diving? That's a big thing. Bin dipping. So, to summarise then, your 12-month plan, because I'm going to come back to you in 12 months and check, is you're going to have an album out. Co-headline tour with Mason Hill.
That'd be ideal, but definitely another tour. Definitely another tour.
Definitely another tour. And making, we're not going to quantify it, but more money than you are now.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I think they're fairly realistic goals. Like I say,
we can move from Tesco's sandwiches to Weatherspoons on tour food then.
Yes.
I mean,
there
going
you
up
go.
in the world.
This is hot.
Yeah.
Boiling eggs in kettles, you won't need to. You'll be able to.
To be fair.
You watch next tour.
We have just learned.
Watch your space. We're all going to have kettles.
So I'm just conscious of time because I know that you'll need to gaff and do sound checking and that kind of thing. So what I want to leave everyone with is I want you guys to sum up your journey so far as Hollowstar with a film title.
Oh God. Eye of the Tiger.
Is that a film
Is
title?
that a film title? He's just saying words.
That's a soundtrack.
That's a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say. Does that make it Rocky?
Does that make it Rocket? I was going to say maybe just go with Rocket.
I'll subtly say
Spinal
it.
Tap. That's what I'm going with. Bloody.
What else?
We'll go with a different answer. Can't be Spinal Tap.
Right.
It feels like Spinal Tap at times.
It can be Spinal Tap if that's what you think. Predictable, that one though, let's face it.
No, it is, I would. Ooh. To be fair, if it works, I'd say I'd say Independence Day.
Independence Day?
If it works.
If it works?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool Runnings, did I just steer?
I'll go with that one.
You got a Cool Runnings?
Cool Runnings,
Sam, have you got any...
Probably Groundhog Day. It's the same thing, but on a different day, isn't it?
Well, on that note, I'm going to give you a little minute to just plug whatever you've got coming up. So it might be a song, album, gig, whatever it was. If people that are listening, they want to go and check you out, what do they need to check out? Where do they need to go? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, go on to check us out on Facebook.
Yep.
Click the blue thumb.
Where did they go? How did they
Facebook.com/Hollowstar Official.
There we go.
Check us out on Twitter @TwitterBand. Follow us on Instagram
@Hollowstar.
@TwitterBand. Twitter's house band.
I'm going to go find out what @TwitterBand is.
@TwitterBand, yeah.
@Hollowstar Band.
Yep.
Instagram, which we're having a bit of fun with while we're touring around. So
Yeah.
check out and find out what we're doing.
Perfect.
And yeah, like I say, check us out. We're doing a few things in the early new year, so
I'll keep an eye
find
out
out
for you. Well, thanks very much for your time, guys. I'm going to let you go and do your sound checking stuff.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.